It has been very hard to find work in a field that I like in Canada. Not having enough Canadian experience, or I guess any Canadian experience, has been like almost impossible to find a job in the field and I would like to work. And in order to be successful, I need to work in a field that I love.
To go out and find work and stuff, because I would hand out probably 10 to 15 resumes and only get maybe 2 callbacks out of that, right?
Applied online, and then found out later that's the lowest percentage of finding anything. But I've also applied in person. And the only thing I got was a 2-hour trial shift at a restaurant as basically a server helper.
Youth need tons of support, especially from adults that aren't their family, because we don't always get along with our family. And so it's really awesome to have people that are adults that you know care about you and support you and just want to see you succeed, and that you can go to for advice on resumes, cover letters, business connections, or even just life in general. That's one of the most valuable things ever.
One of the most common struggles that they have would be the lack of or little work experience. Another struggle that has come up and is very common with youth is the lack of job search skills, as well as lack of labor market information.
Employers tend to prefer older workers who are more experienced, or not necessarily even more experienced with work, but more experienced in life.
Given the amount of layoffs due to the recession, youth are really up against people who are experienced, and that's who they're competing with. So youth really have to stay cutting edge and really be building their paper tools and their skills and abilities to compete in today's job market.
I think that reflects a lot of the problems youth have with the career world today, in that there are assumptions made about what a person ought to know and be able to do in order to fit in the adult world. And if you don't know those things and you don't know how to do them, you're left out and you're excluded. And one of the big challenges is that there's a whole big career world out there. It's not geared to youth. And so there's an understanding that youth may see things differently, understand things differently.
We're entering into a very different kind of society now. There's new types, when people talk about career development, there's terms like positive uncertainty and planned happenstance, and there's a sense now that things aren't that linear straight line of just kind of going towards your career. It's a new world. Young people, if they could, they're well positioned in some ways for this kind of uncertainty. But I think they need to understand sometimes that it isn't the same rules. It's, and this would be not only young people, but older people as well, that the rules are changing, and they're changing so fast. And so learning the new rules of engagement in the workplace, and what actually is a job, and how many different jobs you're going to go through in a lifetime. I mean, it isn't the old thing of start at the bottom and work your way to the top. People are going to be learning here and learning there, and there'll be gaps of time, periods where they're not working in places. So I think really adapting career development to this new workplace, I think that's a big challenge for young people and for old.
Youth need to, in a sense, learn how to see who they are in their own life and to value that. And I think the other thing is to be willing to do anything. I'm a strong believer in, while it's important to find your passions and try to pursue them, I think it's more important to find your passions, find what you really love, and know how to express that in whatever you do.
There's a bit of a values gap between employers and young people. And we're seeing this in North America. We also see it in other countries. The employers tend to be older and see things and have different values sometimes, and really to understand young people and to sort of how to motivate young people. I think how to get that energy, capture that energy. And I'm not sure employers really fully understand how to get the most out of the young people that are coming to see them.
The world of work and career needs preparation and needs practice. And there's no shortage for taking the time to prepare and to practice.
If I were going to give young people today advice on maintaining employment, or getting and maintaining employment, I think the biggest thing is willingness. And, the reality of it is, when you're breaking into the workforce, you're going to be working entry-level jobs. And if you're not willing to pay the dues that are needed to pay, you're never going to be able to work in those bigger, fancier, smancier jobs that pay you a bunch more money.
Looking for work is just business. Don't take rejection personally. You only need one job, so you may encounter a lot of rejection before you find that job. So perseverance, hard work. If you want to find employment, you will find it. Definitely determination.
Not to lose hope and to reach out to your supports. There's a lot of programs and a lot of places out there that can help youth, and a lot of youth today don't understand that. They don't know what's out there. So reach out to either your learning centers or your schools or to the youth centers in the area, and just see what's out there and go on.
Job search is difficult for anyone, but to just utilize the skills and access the programs that can help you, because they're very beneficial.
I think one of the secrets for success is really believing in yourself and learning, understanding what is it that gives you joy, and knowing that if you can tap into that part of yourself, if you're working at things that really excite you, then you're going to do a good job. So if you can find that little kernel inside yourself, what is it that really brings you joy? And if that flame, that little flickering spark can be put into a full flame, I think people will really rise to their full potential. And I think that's a challenge for everybody, is really find that little piece inside yourself, that spark, and fan that flame.